My
What is
wife
he in a private jet? What is this?
Nicholas Moreano joining us now from Halas Hall, or
Why does it look like he's like in a? Where is he?
This is under the stairway here, the PNC Center. It does. Seeing it from this angle, it does kind of look like I'm
Yeah.
in a
And then
jet.
your
Someone's
jacket.
stepping on your head right now.
And then your
Did
jacket.
anyone else see that?
Yeah, I did see that. It's like he's at like SeaWorld.
It does look. It's giving
Kind of
SeaWorld
like an
vibes.
amusement park there right
Yeah,
now.
like what is going on here?
I had to move from my normal spot because they're kind of setting up down here. So
And
we have
you're
to make
slightly
adjustments.
You're slightly dressed like Mr. McAllister from Home Alone.
all right.
It's a good look. I like to do different things here.
All right, let's get into the meat of it here, Nick. Where would you like to start today, Nicholas? You had some questions with Flus, but I'm going to just open the floor. What was your number one takeaways of your day so far at Halas?
Let's go into the locker room because obviously there's a lot to be talked about with this last loss, but there's also some encouraging signs that we saw from the offense. And one of the questions that DJ Moore was asked, like, what do you think is sustainable from last week? And he's just said, just carry over what we did and just add a W to that. And what the Bears were able to do last week is get the ball out quick, get the play calling in quick and utilize that pre-snap motion. And, I asked DJ Moore just what is the benefits of pre-snap motion and like what that can do for an offense. And essentially he said like it allows them to identify what the defense is in. I mean, that's what you're going to use stuff like that for. You create leverage as well, but it just gives an indication of what defenses are in, and that can simplify some things for, an offense with a rookie quarterback. So you saw a lot of that in last Sunday's loss against the Packers using pre-snap motion, but I think that's something that you're definitely going to see in this matchup against the Vikings because the last team that the Minnesota Vikings lost to, Los Angeles Rams, they use more pre-snap motion than anybody in the league, you guys. And obviously Thomas Brown being under Sean McVay there in Los Angeles, I think you're going to see a lot of that on Sunday.
Nick, there's been a lot of talk about DJ Moore, body language, happiness, going off the field in the middle of a play, all this type of stuff. I know you talked to him today. Just any takeaways from maybe what his mindset is because it certainly seems like Thomas Brown's resonated with a lot of these players here in the last week or so.
Yeah, like any of that, I guess, when you saw maybe DJ disgruntled at times, like it didn't, I guess, carry over into the locker room today. Like I was talking to DJ about if you guys remember, Rome Odunze put a hell of a block on one of the Packers DBs on a jet motion, and DJ lit up. Like, yeah, he made a hell of a block on that. So I think you're just kind of seeing, the benefits of being a little bit more creative on offense, and that's trickling down to the players itself. So any of that stuff that was maybe affecting DJ Moore definitely didn't show today and how he spoke or, what he was thinking about Thomas Brown and the offense.
Why don't we move over to good old Rome Odunze? I don't know. Listen to Caleb talk today. I don't know if you had the same reaction that I did. That feels like, he's his number one guy on the team, number one target, all the things. But I guess Nick, you talked about the way he's been moved around a little bit. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, like if you just watch that film, Mark, like Rome Odunze wasn't just exclusive to being in the slot or outside. He was even in the backfield a couple of times. And I asked Rome Odunze about that, and he said going back to the draft, he wanted to be somebody that was versatile and that this versatility can affect the defense and obviously affect an offense in a positive way. So he really liked that from Thomas Brown being put around the offense in, multiple different spots. And so as a defense, you just got to keep guessing, where is Rome going to be? And you saw him in the backfield a couple times. And, I asked him, of course, about his block that he made on that play I was just describing earlier with DJ Moore in a jet sweep. But he said those are awesome. And to make plays like that excites him. He also had this quote, which you'll hear if you're, a diehard and get the exclusive, but you get it right here. He said, we came out with a different sort of passion, a different sort of violence last Sunday. I think when you put on the film, you saw that there was a little bit more physicality from the offense and how they were just playing this Packers team. So if you can get that to carry over for another NFC North divisional matchup, I think the Bears are going to look a lot better than, they were just 2 weeks ago against the Patriots.
Nick, do you think that Are we making too much of what we saw on Sunday from the offense in Caleb? I mean, they certainly made strides, and it was a big step forward from the 3 games where they really just were inept, and they were great on 3rd and 4th down, and there was a lot of positives. But is it just because our bar is so low at this point that are we like going too far forward with Thomas Brown, or is this something tangible that I can believe in for these 2 games in 4 days coming up against some pretty tough opponents in Minnesota and Detroit?
Well, like even how I said it on the post game show last Sunday, like it is week to week, so I do want to see how Thomas Brown adjusts to the Minnesota Vikings. But I mean, the quick read, seeing that Caleb can find his number 1 target on his first read, like that's a good sign. And then the pre-snap motion, like I was just saying, like those things can carry over. So I think if you're thinking of things that are sustainable, like those are things that make sense with this offense, with the playmakers that they have. So I would just say that we don't have to go full in on Thomas Brown right now, but there are some encouraging signs from what he did against the Green Bay Packers, and he's going to have to be in his bag of, I don't want to say tricks, but he's going to have to call a really good game against a really talented defensive coordinator in Brian Flores. But I think that, motion and getting the ball out quickly is going to be a recipe for success against a defense like that.
Nick, what else you got from the locker room?
Yeah, so I got a chance to talk to Darnell Wright, obviously coming back from injury and, having, I think, a pretty decent game against Green Bay Packers. And, one of the things I asked him is like, what's the difficulty when you face a Brian Flores defense where you can have 7 guys at the line of scrimmage and you don't know which one's actually going to pressure you. And the thing that he said, the difficulty with that is eye discipline and just ensuring that you don't overcommit to something without knowing if a looper is going to come in or if a twist is going to happen. So he said that really the Bears' offensive line needs to stay disciplined, especially when they're looking at something and not knowing exactly what's going to happen. And then I did ask him, like, how do you train your eyes? Like, what can you actually do to, practice that during the course of the week? And he just said staying composed. That's going to be your biggest asset when facing a defense like that. Staying composed when there are going to be a bunch of players at the line of scrimmage. But if you can do that, then you can hopefully have better communication, not overcommit to your slide, and hopefully make the right block when you need to.
And what do you got for our CHGO diehards this week in the film room?
Yeah, so if you are really nerdy into the X and O's, Kevin Byard, I mean, the dude just went so in depth on one of the tackles he made on Josh Jacobs. I think it was a tackle for loss or a tackle for no gain, but he went into gaps and reading what the defensive line was saying, and it was incredible. So if you really like the X and O's and defensive breakdowns, Kevin Byard is going to be your guy for this week. So look into that. And obviously I got a chance to talk to Rome and DJ on his block that on the block that Rome had and then the run that DJ had. So look for that in the Die Hard. It's going to be a good film breakdown. But again, if you're a big nerdy dude with X and O's, Kevin Byard is going to impress you.
Well, all us nerds in Silicon Valley are getting tired of Kyle Shanahan. I don't know if you have any thoughts on the fact that Kyle Shanahan should be fired, but I'm assuming that you're on board with such a movement.
Yeah, Greg, I've been seeing your I don't even know what to call it on Twitter, but you're everywhere spreading the information that Kyle Shanahan's out. You keep doing that, and maybe the Bears will get their wish, and you'll get your wish.
That's what we
That's
do
the biggest
here.
reason why I moved to Blue Sky.
Phil 23, why does Nick look like he just got out of the sauna?
I mean, I was in the sauna earlier at Bears Fit, but I don't know.
It is crazy to see people walking over you. I want this to be your new station for sure.
Who's in there all the time? I am confused on where you are.
Here, this is
Give us
portable,
a little
so
tour.
okay.
Little tour.
I mean, yeah, you see, that's why I can't sit normally. Well,
downstairs.
He's downstairs.
yeah, downstairs.
Oh, he's under the stairs. That's why.
The toilet is right
Yes,
straight
it's not a
ahead. It's
spaceship.
perfect.
That's where Carm.
The toilet is over there.
Yeah, Carm's secret toilet. Okay, I got you now.
If one day,
Good
if
spot.
Mark's with you, if he could like get up on that glass above you and like lay down, like I think that's something we could try to have worked out. This is interesting.
Well, we could get creative here. Mark and I are here on Fridays, so we'll see what we come up with.
I like this.
All right.
That'd be a great stage photo for you, Greg. We'll do that for you so you can live your life to the best of your ability. Thank
Nick,
you,
great
Nick.
Stuff. Enjoy the rest of the Shed Aquarium, and we'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, you guys.
We all silly like the mayor.